So, once again, you guys are on the dusty moon of Karth at the Desperado Karaoke Bar.
Ooh.
Let's see here.
I'm definitely karaokeing.
Oh, we'll get back to that.
Man.
That's an option.
Oh, it's an option. Okay.
Oh, I feel like this is too, Okay, so it's a dark lounge with fake wooden saloon doors swinging in the dusty wind. Smells like weed and old whiskey. Sawdust is covering the floor, covering up some stains. Smells like pee. You got a full-length mirror behind the scarred plastic wood bar. It's packed. Most people in here are drunk or high. You probably have a better shot trying to find work than these people. And you've already got some leads. Most of the crew already knows that. And you got old Frances Whalegreen back there behind the bar. She doesn't have any more teeth today than she did yesterday. And yeah, somebody's trying to put on a song. It's terrible. So, what do you all do now? I'll start my bar music, actually. Make the video blocked in Russia again.
Yes.
I'm going to skip ahead here a little
Okay.
bit. There we go. Bill. Ooh,
Russian
Bill
Ross, it'll be fine. Give it to him, and he'll port it over there. Pirate it.
Why don't we go talk to Francis? Start up a conversation.
She ain't got much more teeth than she did last time we saw her.
I don't think she'd get any less.
She pretends not to hear that, and she sees Chapman. She says, "Oh, hello, honey. Can I get you something to drink? You want a good spliff?"
We'll get drinks for the crew on me.
All right. Well, that'd be 30 credits.
Yeah, I pay. I don't know if I have a tab open here. I probably would be wise, but I'll just pay outright for now.
Y'all need one of them sacks in the back in the flop rooms tonight? She's got a row of rooms that just have, like, sleeping sacks on the floor.
We just might.
Yeah.
Wait, you missed, Captain, last time. We mostly, it wasn't plot heavy, mostly just kind of getting the lay of the land. So we have a lot of leads for you and a lot of NPCs we've met. Ross, if I recall correctly, our ship is currently docked in orbit, and we have to take the space elevator to get to it, and that has a price, right? Like, we'd have to pay a lot of money for that.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
So.
Each time you come back down, it's 1,000 credit fee to enter, and they have a 50% tax on any major export good. So either 50% of the item or 50% of the profit. And there's guards at the space elevator, yeah.
I reckon we would be in the market for some lodging, yeah.
Is it just the coming down that they charge you for, or the going up as well?
The going up, they just charge you for coming down to enter for 1,000 credits, and then they charge the 50% export tax for anything you take out.
Gotcha. Sorry, yeah.
Well, I think we should definitely reserve a room if needed. And if you guys got leads last time, kind of saw the lay of the land, then why don't we, over our drinks, discuss what our next mission will be?
Sounds good to me.
Anybody wants to get absolutely hammered and embarrass themselves at the karaoke bar, I think now's the time.
Oh, I'm definitely going to do that.
Are you going to try to do a karaoke song?
Oh, yeah, he's going to try to sing.
Well, you have to sing for the group if you want to win, though. I can give you the songs to look up the lyrics to sing.
God. Oh, I'm good then.
On the jukebox.
I'm super good. I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding. You can also just roll. You can roll, but if you
If you dare me, I might start singing "Band from Argo."
Band from Argo's on the list.
Look, I don't have anything to drink in the house right now, so
You can also roll. If you roll and fail, something will happen. But
okay, all right.
Do you have any skills that you think are performance related?
Oh,
Probably not.
not really. No.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, you would just
Okay.
roll 2d6 to get an 8. Oof. Close.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's see here. So. How do I describe this? The crowd at first ignores you, and then they get really angry and they try to like throw you off the stage. The people that are trying to throw you off the stage, you notice, have that pale skin and their eyes are weird. You get this sense of like zombie flicks from long ago, like
Oh,
people that
yeah,
just like
yeah.
trying to grab you and throw you off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I quickly retreat because I don't want to start a bar fight right now.
All right. Does anybody else want to try to sing?
I'll do it, but not with any alcohol.
All right. You could roll a 2d6.
Is Solomon introduced to the group, or is that going to be later?
You guys are already friends. You already know each other. So you've found your way to Karth, and they've identified you're a highly talented traveler, which is rare.
Curious.
And so you're good to go.
Two.
A 2. Oof. Yeah. With that, you're actually just thrown out of the building. So
They throw some beetle camel. They throw beetle camel patties at you.
for your own sake, Francis is just like, maybe you ought to just wait outside a little bit, honey. It'll be all right, you know.
Away from the coat down.
She gives you a drink
You've been
to
freshman
enjoy
keep off.
outside. Yeah.
You've been put in
That's it.
timeout. You're in the corner.
What did he sing that
Gives
was
you a
so
s-
offensive? I don't know.
Especially
Especially in this place. You probably started singing something, that reminded them of the Empire, which is not the
It's too
Imperium.
classy.
They don't know what that
It's
is,
too
but
classy for this joint.
it's too classy. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are
I've been
hegemony
kicked out
people.
of better places. I've been kicked out of better places than this.
All right. So, okay.
Ooh,
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Solomon's going to buy a round for everybody in the bar, and he'll try his hand at karaoke and sing like a national song from the hegemony.
Whoa. Yeah, because you're from there.
Yeah.
All right, you got 2 rolls to make, and here, so there's a couple of things going on. First of all, it's going to cost 200 credits to buy everybody a drink. Actually, and you don't have to roll.
All right.
So 200 credits, and everybody loves it. The bad part is there's a chance that somebody's going to recognize you. This will probably keep
okay.
coming up. So
Classic rookie mistake.
roll a 2d6 to
All
get
right.
under your intelligence.
Oh, okay.
7 or
All right,
less.
Let's see what I get.
He's not on the VTT, by the way. So
6.
Yeah, 6. All right. So you see a figure over in the corner, and you just change up your accent a little bit, and you start singing, some of the cadences from the Federation. the Corpo Federation that fought in the big Empire Hegemony War, and it thrills everybody. They love it. Even, in fact, they're like, this reminds me of Lars. You know, Lars fought in that war.
Lars, may God rest his soul.
Yeah, everybody just,
Raises a glass to it.
raises a glass, takes a moment. Just takes a moment for Lars.
I nudge Books to take his hat off and raise the glass. I'm like, we'll catch you up on this Lars guy. Just do it.
All right, so
Lars wasn't under my control.
I do it.
oh yeah, was Lars in your? Well, you wouldn't have known him. Lars was kind of a loser. Just people don't realize that. Okay, so Glenn, roll a d10.
Okay. Ooh, D10. All right. That is a 7.
A 7. After a while, somebody comes by and they reciprocate, buy you a drink. There's an old half-drinking thing of whiskey that's not tainted, not part of the old rock gut on the bar. They buy one of those, and you realize you haven't had whiskey in a long time. Used to be the kind of thing
real
you'd drink, Yeah, you'd have your own personal bar back in the day, and not anymore. Anyways, you said you got a 7?
Yes.
Okay. He says he's like, they sit down. You guys are talking because I know you're gonna catch Books up here in a second, and people are talking about ghost stories. This is real common. This is something you can hear. It comes up pretty frequently. So people talk about that a little bit. They tell Solomon, all the local ghost stories. Sometimes there's some specifics, and then they say, well, one person says, I've heard that back when this place, back before times, before Lars came here. Everybody takes another moment every time Lars comes up. I heard this was a human colony, and some people say those ain't ghosts at all. There's still survivors from back before times. And then somebody else is like, that's stupid. This ain't no human world. Well, if they were humans, well, they wouldn't be digging up these bones and that weird coral-shaped stuff out of the ground. And he just shrugs. He's like, well, that's what I heard. They say out there in the desert, some people, they were here all along before Lars came. This is fighting words for somebody else, and they tell him to shut up. How dare he? They even suggest that Lars didn't establish the colony. So,
Man, this Lars sounds like a great guy.
he sure is. They take another moment. Anyways, yeah, you guys want to fill Books in? I guess there's stuff to fill him in on.
Yeah. So this colony's not doing great. They've got no shortage of problems, which we can capitalize on, as is our habit. Because of that, the governor kind of has her hands full with all sorts of issues from the locals. And we made, I think, a pretty good impression on her. She's already deputized us so that we can take on security work. We've already done one of those. We did a little escort mission last week for a caravan that went out to a ranch. And surely there's more work to be done there. We've also toyed with the idea of getting into prospecting ourselves, like the locals seem to do, although we had previously said we might want to meet up with an experienced prospector who can show us the ropes on that and maybe get our hands on some of the proper equipment, because we don't want to make fools of ourselves investing in that whole line of work and not having anything to show for it. We also got a lead from the local doctor, who is a robot, and that robot doctor is interested in the history of the progenitor aliens who are believed to have settled this place before, Lars, I say, raising a glass and taking my hat off.
Everybody else does that
And
as well.
we got some directions eastward to where we could expect to find a facility that would have been kind of in ruins from the previous settlers that he wanted us to investigate. Am I missing anything? Does anybody recall anything else that might be worth mentioning?
You bought camels, beetle camels, 2 of them. They're outside.
Yes. I don't know if that'll lead to any future work, but
Do you remember their names?
Got them. Bluey
Oh,
and Jimbo.
Yeah, that's right.
Louis and
Louis and
Jimbo. Nice.
yeah.
That all sounds very interesting. The robot doctor guy, the robot, looking for like the prior civilization in the ruins.
Mhm.
That sounds most interesting to me. But I'm sure doing some work for the leader of this place too, or the person in charge, could lead to maybe bigger and better jobs. So for me, I would say I would either of those 2 options would sound good to me. But why don't we do a vote among the crew and see what everyone wants to do as far as our next move?
Little bit more information. He was an android, right? Specifically.
Yeah, he's an android.
Yeah, he's the
Android.
android doctor. He was looking for some technology to repair a filter, a purifier, or a refinery or something like that. So there's some tech out there from the previous civilization that he's looking for specifically that he asked us to look for.
Okay, even better. Maybe there's
And
some more tech too that could be useful.
I also recall we had agreed to kind of keep that a little bit on the down low. I don't think we had even
Yeah.
mentioned it when we talked to the mayor. Yep. Or
Yeah,
governor or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Nice.
mean, that sounds interesting to me, trying to help out this robot doctor. My only thing that'll affect my vote is, does he wear a cowboy hat?
We could get him one, easy enough.
Okay, for a doctor who lives in a town that has a bar called the Desperado Karaoke, he needs to have like some Old West outfit. We should definitely pick him up one of those.
We can do that. There's a general store. You know what?
You might be able
I
to
think
just go outside of town and find another
I
body and
think
find
we-
an outfit on it.
we all need cowboy hats.
There
You
you
guys
go.
know it is crew policy that the captain is indicated by their 10-gallon hat. Now, if you get anything even approaching that size, you're cutting it close. That is like
Okay.
You're a threat for
Captain
getting
gets
promoted there. All right,
5-gallon hats.
books. Where do we go first?
Well, do we need any supplies, or are we good to go out into this,
we need
the ruins?
we need supplies
Yeah, rations
Probably-
and stuff for sure.
and probably someone who's experienced with the desert out here. A guide of some sort.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if last week
Like a
you guys
local.
got supplies or not. Yeah, why don't we let's go try to find both of those things. We could go get some supplies,
was
maybe ask there if they
What
know
was
a
that?
guide.
What was the name of that crazy hobo we saw that followed us around? What was his name?
It was like monosyllabic. I
Grano?
don't remember what it was. Was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mongo?
it was like guano.
old Grano.
Guano. Maybe we could hire him. I bet he's cheap. I bet he works real cheap.
I was gonna suggest maybe the caravan trader, who is a former traveler, would
Yeah.
be more reliable.
Maybe, but
More our kind of
I don't know.
guy.
I don't like his vibes though. He's got some weird vibes. I like Grano
But not
myself.
but not the hobo
I-
Grano. His vibes check out.
His vibes check out 100%. I like Grano. I'm a Grano guy. I don't like that traveler guy. He's got some weird vibes, like don't leave your stuff around him, or.
So you guys are talking about this, and you're heading
I vote
out,
for the
and
traitor.
you open the fake wood, saloon style doors, and they open to put it easily. This is perfectly a mixture between a Western Americana with like stocky, bricky, blocky type buildings with like hanging signs in the front and stuff, and a little porch, and Tatooine with like sand igloo type structures. So it's got both, and it's a dusty place. Actually, I'm gonna just show you for the people that can see it here, and I'll describe it for Glenn. Also importantly is that the whole place is lit in the daytime under the blue glare of this gas giant. So the sun, instead of having a kind of white and yellow illuminating hue, instead has this kind of bright white light combined with a blue hue from the gas giant Tabernos. You are on the far end, probably a full week at Jump 1 away from any other place in or the main gas giant or the main planet in Vinfall. Anyways, that's what you see. That's what it looks like out here. And you step out of the Desperado karaoke bar, and you can see ahead of you several buildings. Where are you guys headed first, Books? Were you going to try to go to the doctor? Do you want to go back to the governor's place? Or are you going to look around for a guide?
I say we should look around for a guide.
All right. You start walking around trying to find a local. And you cross this building right here, and a couple things happen. But let me just start with what you see in this building as you start looking around. This is a prefab metal building. It's placed here early on at the colony. It's got a vertically written on the side of the building, 2 stories, says jail. And it has perhaps inadvisedly, like the kind of like below surface level window that's barred. And sure enough, some jailbird pokes his head out as you pass. Like he's missing some teeth. He's got a few. He says, Hey, visitor, listen. Come here. Listen to me. I could help you out.
I'll bite. I crouch down and I say, all right, I gotta hear this. How are you gonna help us?
My
I
name's...
say, clinking the bars of his cell.
Hey, easy there now, easy there. My hearing's real sensitive. You look at him, he's got the kind of pale skin a little bit of whatever is affecting some people here. And he's like, that hurts my ears when you do that. Please, be gentle. My name's Huel, and I'm wrongly convicted.
Oh, I bet you are, son. I bet you are.
That's right. But listen, I can help you. I can tell you're travelers. He looks, sees back suit. He's like, you're off-worlders. You're not even from Vinfall. I could tell you, if you get me out of this place, I know where there's a whole cache of Weegoy. Absolutely certain. Why, we'd be rich. We could get off this planet for good. If you get me out of here, you pay my bail, get me out of here, I can show you where it is. Piece of cake.
What are you wrongly convicted of? Why are you here?
And you see him count. Public intoxication is one of them.
Okay.
And without saying where it is, because I know otherwise that'd be no good to you, how do you know where this stock is and yet it isn't in your possession?
There was an incident.
Mm-hmm.
But he
Always
ain't a
is.
problem no more. And it's just sitting there for the taking.
Okay. Captain, I think this stinks, but I can't deny the fact that in a situation literally identical to this is how we once made our fortune.
Look, you want Jailbird over here? You were against Grano? A boy, Grano?
At
What's
this
I vote
Jailbird?
against.
At this point, you notice you can see part of the roof. It's tiered, and on the roof is a big scorch mark that's like kind of circular, except the center of where the scorch mark is. And you can tell there's layers of this carbon blasting where it looks like something gets blasted there on the roof regularly. And he's like, "You gotta get me out of here. I know all about this place. I know all about this whole moon. You get me out of here, I could help you."
How much is your bail?
Well, it's
He ain't got one, does he?
it's 10,000. But look,
10,000.
but look, I think if maybe you just help me get out of here tonight, ain't nobody gonna care. And the other thing is, you could pay those two right there, and really nobody'd care. And he points to two of the MEF guards that are coming your way.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
Final question. Is this a time-sensitive offer?
Yeah, it'd have to be done before tomorrow. Please get me out of here. He starts shaking the metal bars.
They're gonna hang him or something. Or blow him up or whatever they do to criminals.
How much would it be?
Yeah.
How much would it be to bribe the guards?
You could pay him off 1,500 credits, I bet.
I mean, shit,
1,500
that's not too
altogether.
I say we make
that's
the
not
new
too
guy do it.
bad.
This is his hazing ritual. Like this is how we get him to,
Oh, you
to
mean
be-
the- you
show
mean-
that he's
you
like
mean-
committed to
Good.
us.
You mean
Baron
Dr.
Admiral Dr.
Admiral?
Solomon
Baron Admiral
Stance, yeah.
Doctor?
That's
Like
Dr.
you
Baron
also-
Admiral to you. But
He is not yet fully associated with us, I doubt. So if he gets some stink on him over this, we can distance ourselves from him quite
That's
possibly.
fair. That's very fair. It wouldn't be the first
So-
time we've done that.
you know what? Before I try and pay anybody off, I want to go talk to the guards and ask them, what is this guy in here for exactly?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go up to the
Make sure he
guards
didn't
and ask them
kill
that.
anyone.
Yes, I want to go up there and ask him, like, hey, what's that old hobo guy doing in this house for? He's
One of them chuckles, and then the other one elbows the other one. He's like, "Hey, now look here, sir. You can't be going on around here disturbing the peace. That there is a convicted murderer. He's going to be taking
Oh.
the chair tomorrow." And you realize in that scorch place, there's a chair and there's a stack of like crude rockets for the chair stacked up near it.
Awesome.
oh, I want to
Why?
see this happen.
That's
Is
awesome.
he gonna get launched into space? Like,
I was
Why?
gonna say I'm now rooting for the execution.
Look,
Yeah,
look,
same.
I've been
same.
to some weird planets before. I've never seen an execution. I've seen people drawn and quartered. I've seen people hung. I've seen people shot. Saw a guy get beheaded.
but you've
one
never
time.
seen this before. You got to
I've
see
never
this.
seen-
You got to add it to your
I've never
mark.
seen. I've never
You-
seen a son of a bitch
you-
that stood up the rocks and launched up.
You
in
ain't
the air.
never seen
I
a
wanna see
sky
this.
burial?
No, I want to see this.
Oh boy, it's
Not
gonna
that
be a
guy.
show, but you gotta
Sorry
pay.
about that, Hill. Sorry about that.
No,
Actually,
please! He's shaking the bars. Please, he's weeping.
They
Why
said
will this be taking place? I gotta like put away some time on my schedule for this. I don't want to miss this.
Yeah.
Are we still? Is the guard still here?
No. Go ahead, Jacob. Go ahead. Sorry.
I want to ask the guards who he killed.
I had the same question.
Killed his partner. Body got dragged in here. He's just another prospector. Hooked on that Weegoy. Hooked on the reef.
Oh, he's one of them druggies.
Just another one of
bad.
them reef addicts. Got desperate. Said he thought
sounds
he'd found
just like
something
what
in
he
the mine and decided his partner didn't need to see it. And he's shaking the bars. He's like, "No, it's a lie. It didn't happen. I didn't kill him. Please."
Well, then where's your partner
I
at,
point to
son?
him. I point to him. Go. Then what did happen to him?
Something in there. It got him. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. He's crying, you know.
I lean
Oh,
over and go.
God.
I believe the hobo.
Yeah,
So,
I do too.
Well,
So,
that does kind of
what-
make his story sound like more authentic, right? Because that's probably where he found the Wego that he wants to take us to.
Yeah.
So that makes his story sound more accurate. I mean, 1,500 really isn't that much.
That's
I
not bad
do-
for human life.
Yeah, I do want to see the
I
spy chair.
I want to see the sky chair, but I also have a good set of admin, and I wanted to see if I could negotiate with the guards about, well, what if we bail him out and just for the time being, and if we can't prove his innocence, you bring him straight back to you for the sky chair.
They look at each other. Actually, let me.
Did this guy get due process? Is it too late for him to get some legal
Due
representation?
process. I don't think they know what that word means on this
Frontier
planet.
law.
One of them chuckles and tries to say, due process.
Right. I saw a guy get shot and killed the other day. He just shot his friend just without a gun and
That's
blew him away.
true.
Right
You
there
saw
in
him in the
street.
street. That's true.
Just blew him away like it was nothing.
Okay, so they say, I tell you what, why we want him to have a fair shake after he needs to have due process after all. So
Oh, no.
this is the one that was elbowing the other one. And he's like, so I tell you what, we gotta have our sky burial because a bunch of us already got paid tickets for it. So there's a graveyard outside the wall here. So you get somebody in there in the night, get him up there. Don't get seen. And then you let's just say if you find anything in that mine, come see us for the taxes and fees so we can make sure the paperwork is in order.
Well, Solomon looks back at the captain and say, how does that sound to you? I mean, I want to
Now-
get some front row seats to the sky chair.
This is an example where you have got admin 4 as an example. So this would be an example where you say, hey, I've got admin 4. And it says for admin, it says when contact with officials is required and their needs and motives will assist in dealing with them, a basic throw of 7+ successfully resolves normal interactions like police harassment, ensuring proper licenses, approval of applications, and avoidance of close inspections of papers. DMs to be applied with no expertise at -3 per level of admin expertise +2. So you have a +8 to that roll. So you could, this is an example where you guys could propose, you would say, hey, wait a second, I've got freaking admin 4. Maybe I can work out a different deal. You could do that when you come back if this became a thing, but just want to point that out. This is something where you can take the book and make it yours. You can tell me that, what your skill is, and yeah. You say, I've
Okay.
admin 4, I get a +8 to a roll if it's a paperwork thing.
So all in all,
I'll
this is a little
definitely
gamble. We'd spend a little bit of money, and there could be a huge payoff. And if there's not, then the worst that happens is that we do still get to see a sky burial for this portion of
Yeah.
down here.
That sounds
Yeah,
good to
yeah.
me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
a
in the
win-win.
same boat with that way of thinking. This could potentially have a huge payoff, and he may know the lay of the land. So if we take him, to the to look for that the thing for the robot android, that may help. So yeah, let's do it. Let's
Okay.
let's get him out of here.
All right.
One thing, officers or deputies, when's the shift change so we know what time about your shift ends, if you get what I'm saying, so we can make arrangements.
Once that gas giant goes down in the sky about 3/4 ways, 1 in the morning. Oh, Robert's on shift tonight, and he's a little slow. He's just a little slow sometimes. Getting up there. Gonna retire soon.
Retired to this planet?
Well, I hope not, but... And then he looks over to the guy in the cell. It happens sometimes.
I see. How about you give us the guy in the cell, and if it's true, I'll pay you my cut of whatever resources we find on top of the trade taxes. And if it's not, then I'll pay you his bail, and you get to see a sky burial.
I didn't even take a roll. They're like, huh, sounds good to me. Just come and see us before you head off planet and go back up that elevator. Up the beanstalk.
Got yourself a deal.
All right. So, you guys, they let him out, and you have got with you now Huel Kovacs. And he's, pale, and his eyes look strange, and he's like, well, do you have a little bit of that reef right now that you've collected yet?
Have we learned what withdrawal is like for this?
It helps clear up my sinuses.
I bet it does.
I mean, we should probably try to find some for this guy, because he'll probably be more useful if he's not withdrawing. And
we don't want him tweaking out.
Yeah, and he'll be less likely to betray us too if we're if we're keeping him high.
You got like a pusher somewhere, son?
No, you don't have any. I know where we could get some.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go get some. We'll take some time to go do that first.
Let's go buy some dope. Oh boy, here we go.
Yay.
He takes you down a shady alley, and knocks on a door and asks for Clevis. After some time, somebody answers, and they work it out. And he says, "I need a little bit of credits, just a few to get me going."
How much?
I don't suppose you all would like any.
No, I'm good. I don't trust that stuff.
All right. Let's see here.
Only pure spring water and whiskey for me. Pure distilled water and whiskey.
I'll tell him. I'll say no, but then I'll whisper to him, and I'll be like, I'll hand him like I don't know, however much it costs, like $100, and tell him to get me some.
It's 100 credits, so he has 100 credits for you, and then he asks for 100 credits for him.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I'm not gonna do it. It's to hold over him, so when he runs out.
Okay, yeah.
Smart.
Or
Nice.
we pay you the big bucks.
Yeah, does somebody give him 100 credits for his dose?
Yeah,
I'll do it.
All right.
Okay, that's fine. You can do it.
He
I don't want to buy drugs.
you see his like pupils like enlarge as he just takes this stuff and just eats it. Just eats it.
Oh.
And his eyes like enlarge, and you do see him breathe, and he's like, "Oh boy, that sure does. It just clears me up real nice." And you can see his skin kind of like, it's almost like it congeals or solidifies more. And his skin, by the way, I had this wrong. It has a blue-gray tint. And yeah.
Like the people at the Desperado?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to throw me off stage. They're a bunch of hopheads. They're nothing but a bunch of hopheads.
I give him a moment, but then I put a hand on his shoulder and I say, "All right, Mr. Kovacs, you are now officially on the clock. It's time to put up or shut up."
Woo, let's go. He seems energetic, full of energy.
Oh man, like his attitude. Let's go. Do we need any more pack meals? Where we're going?
You got 2
Yeah,
camel beetles.
how far are we expecting? How long of a journey is this?
Yeah.
We're gonna need rations.
Yeah.
And water.
Good point.
You can get that at a normal cost in the book. I think for all water and rations, it's like 30 credits a day or something.
Okay.
This is not where you all are. I'll put you where you are. You're here in Larstown.
Lard. Yeah.
And let's see here. He points off this way in the distance, where the this north road that seems to wind its way off into the mountains out into nowhere. He points. He says, "It's that away. It's the old Seahorse Mine. It'd take us. Let's see here. To be honest with you, we could either ride those 2 animals you got, or it'd take us probably 3 days. If we walk, it'd probably take us a week."
Camel beetles it is.
Is there any faster transport that is available in Lars? Or is it just more camel beetles?
He shakes when you say that. He's like, "Listen, mister, trust me when I say that you don't want to take any speeder bikes or hover bikes out into that desert. Draws attention to things that are out there."
Alright.
All right, well,
Okay.
I believe our deal with the authorities then is that they're expecting their sky burial, what, like tomorrow?
Yeah, you could just
Oh, we gotta-
wait and then just hoax the sky burial and bring him back and execute him if he's wrong.
That's
I
true.
was going to say, we got to produce a body before we head out there, so either we do some grave robbing or
Yeah.
we find another way.
I mean, we
the
can find
for
a
the sky
body.
burial.
We can find a body.
I mean,
easily.
books, you can just go pick a fight with somebody in the street, so that usually produces a body.
That's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we need a but yeah, just get someone to come around the alley and I'll shoot him with
What?
a shotgun and there you go.
Why don't we find someone
we
that's already
shouldn't-
dead?
We should wait for the first traveler to come down from the sky elevator who doesn't know any better and trick them into talking shit about Lars.
Oh no.
Yeah, there you go.
Some people have played Infinity Engine games here before.
Do we really want to pick a fight with any of the travelers, though? I don't think so.
Oh.
Nah.
Well, hey, you know, if we could,
We could
and,
find
you
an
know, if
existing
they
dead
happen
body,
to
that would
them, they
be
just,
mess.
There's
Where's that
Yeah.
android?
Oh,
Where's
go
that
ahead.
android doctor? He might have a body or two.
We had
Might have
that
a
one
body.
guy is getting eaten by the bats, but that was way out of the way.
Yeah.
Probably the
I like idea of
cemetery.
going to the doctor. Or them.
Or the doctor.
Or actually,
he might have
or
a
if the
body.
doctor's close, I mean, if the doctor's close, that could work as well.
Yeah.
Probably some something fresh.
So, okay, so who asked the doctor for a body?
I'll ask.
His fellow physician, his fellow medical professional, Baron Admiral Dr. Solomon Sands,
Dr.
obviously.
Admiral.
Obviously.
Okay. Obvious. Okay. You know, for medical purposes.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want to desecrate a body. You got one?
So you go to the hospital, and let me describe it here because you haven't been there. The hospital is a pink adobe structure with flaking paint on its edges on the outside. The interior is clean and crowded with examination tables. There are strange glass bottles and large syringes, and the whole place has an antiseptic smell. You hear the omnipresent whirring of what you know with your engineering expertise is a large centrifuge somewhere in the back. A kindly robotic doctor comes out. He's wearing a... Now that style of dress is something in particular. It looks like a robe, but it's called something, and somewhere in the world people wear that, and I don't remember what it's called. So somebody either call it out, or I'll just say that he looks like he's wearing comfortable robes. I mean, it is like a kimono, actually. Yeah, it looks like a kimono, and then he's got like a black bodysuit underneath, but he has no human or fleshly body, even though he's humanoid. He's got a metallic face and hands and blank eyes with like lighting digital displays, and it looks like his mouth separates down from the bottom, from the upper part, in a strict jaw, and it just emits from inside. And he's also wearing a turban that flows off the back of his kimono. And he comes out and he says, "Hello, are you injured?"
Hello. No, I'm not injured, but I'm also a fellow doctor, and
Oh,
I was wondering if, well, I'm studying a new disease, and I need a body to
this
test
is
this out on.
a strange request, being in Largetown, but do you have some proof of your credentials or expertise that I could see? I want to note you have Admin 4, and you have Medic 3, so you have options.
I don't just have like a wallet with my ID on it that I can just show him that he can scan.
You could, but then he would also know who you are. Did anybody follow you in here?
I don't know. Did anybody come in?
Let's figure outside.
Everybody else is waiting outside?
Yeah,
I'm keeping
I'm
an eye on
outside.
My presence would help the situation.
Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on Huel. I don't trust him.
Yeah, you could give him your identification, but of course he would know that you are, who you are. Solomon, whatever. Keep forgetting your last name.
I think I'll just give him my full ID and whatever else is required, instead of having to prove to him.
What's your last
what I
name
can
again?
do. Stan.
Stans.
Stans.
He looks at it and he says, "Amazing. You are expert academy researcher, tactician, fleet admiral, Solomon Stans. Your name is known across the sector and you are a wanted criminal. Do not worry. I will not inform the authorities here. It is a place friendly for those that are trying to start over. In fact, Dr. Baron Admiral Stans, I could use your help, and it seems that we have similar goals."
How could I help you?
I also am researching pathological conditions among the populace here, and have not had much success. I asked a group of travelers if they could travel to find some technology to help improve my centrifuge. However, with your assistance, I believe I could accelerate the rate of my research. I'm trying to find an answer for the decay of the genetic structure of the inhabitants of Largetown.
Could it possibly be that, what was it, weed that they're eating in chunk?
And he brings you over actually and shows you the display screen he has. It's an old chunky TL9 or TL8 like cathode ray tube, and it's just like
Gorgeous,
the
top of the
movie
line.
1984 with Matthew Broderick. He's like like a line drawing on a cathode ray tube monitor, like shows a deoxyribose nucleic acid strand and it shows the coding for it. And he's like, "As you know, all of the residents of the sector have different coding, and so it is hard to compare between the different code strands." And then he like points all this stuff out, and he's like, "My initial hypothesis was that it could be related to Reef. However, it does not seem to be the case. The affliction of Reef addiction seems to be an additional problem that our people face. There is something else that is causing the genetic decay of our populace. I estimate that within one generation, they will become infertile, and eventually will die out."
Oh, that's no good. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to help you. You said you needed something for your centrifuge? That
Yes.
these other travelers weren't helping you?
They said that they would travel, and I offered a generous payment if they would find parts from the progenitors that once occupied this planet. I am aware of a site here on Vector 065 at approximately 250 kilometers that should provide the necessary parts. I don't know if it's how many kilometers. Let me check here. Actually, yeah, that's about right. 50 kilometers, 320 kilometers, something like that.
It's not too bad. It's like a day or two ride on, I would say, the camel beetles.
It will be very hazardous, but that's why I hired them. It is clear that they have good skills. I hope they do not become trapped here on this planet in the situation that we are in, as many travelers often do.
I hope not, and I would be more than willing to help you out on this endeavor. I must gather a crew of my own. That is why I'm actually in need of the body, if you have a spare. One of these people I'm attempting to hire, he's very sick, and if I don't find the cure for this disease, then his entire crew will actually come and hunt me down.
He cocks his head to the side in a display of like physical curiosity and is like, "Where would you take the body for your purposes? I have the only research facility I'm aware of, except for the pre-existing facility that I mentioned, and all ships must be docked at the Beanstalk, at the space elevator."
I was gonna try and take it back to my ship.
Ah, I see. Well, I should help prepare the body then. And he goes through and starts to embalm and like prepare like the body like for transport. And he's just like going to give you this body.
Right.
I love
Thank
the
you. And
contrast
as
of
soon as I
how noble its intentions are for like what it wants to accomplish here with your cooperation, and like we're just here to get a body to rocket into space for people's entertainment.
Right?
well, I want to help this robot out when you get a chance. Like, this is kind of a bad situation.
And hey, I'm people.
Okay.
Look. All it costs for Huel's life is this body getting blown up into space. So, it's a fair trade.
Don't forget the full share of the earnings that was promised.
And money. Filthy lucre.
I'm only gonna give him like 2% of whatever my cut is, anyways.
Oh,
So-
of course.
Yeah, I mean, you have a +8 to whatever roll you're going to make on that. So that is an expertise you have. It's true. I'm not making that up. So, okay. So, yeah, you roll this body out of here. You just see him like go in and there's talking. You're out like 30 minutes and then he rolls the body out. And he's like, okay, I have a body.
Oh,
was
what was
quick.
this robot's name? I wanna write him down for later.
Yeah, Dr. Faid.
Faid. Okay.
Feed, I like that. Pretty cool.
Fayed, I'm sorry. I suppose Fayed.
Man,
The whole
Good
thing.
to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
He might be able to help me with that little side thing. Yeah.
So, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. We have a body now. What do you guys want to do with it?
is the body in a bag? Is it like in a body bag?
Yeah, totally. It's prepared.
So
and, yeah.
I look at, hey Huel, come here for a second.
Well, all right. He comes over.
I unzip the body bag. Is this anyone you know?
Oh, it's Steve.
Oh, he's dead now. I'll zip it back up.
He's kind of a bastard.
Well, he's dead now, so you don't have to worry about him anymore.
Should we go put it on that chair ourselves or pass it off to
Should we-
someone more qualified?
Should we
We could
should
do like
maybe,
a
should we
weekend
maybe
at
switch
Bernie's
clothes
thing.
with Huel? Maybe we should switch clothes with Huel and the dead body. You know?
Oh,
Bad idea.
oh
body
man,
wearing
I don't
clothes?
want to wear. And then he leans over and he's like, actually, that's pretty good. Steve's got some nice
Yeah.
clothes. He starts taking his clothes off.
Like, see, there you go. It's a win-win situation, Mr.
Oh,
Huel.
thanks for looking
Please
up.
win.
Thanks for looking
I
up
pushed
for old
him in-
Huel Kovacs.
I push him into an
Amazing.
alleyway while he's getting undressed to be like, come on, have some decency.
I mean, okay. So, yeah, we put Huel's, like, filthy rags on his corpse.
Huel Kovacs is wearing a deeply antiseptic smelling, blood-stained smelling set of scrubs. And it's a huge improvement, and now the corpse is now wearing a really smelly, like, I don't know, BO kind of deal going on with tattered
Oh.
rags.
Things
I
are looking
guess
up
we,
for you, Mr. Kovacs.
They sure are. I'm gonna get off this planet yet.
You might, one way or the other.
All right.
So we could probably bring the body back to the guards, right?
Yeah.
They proposed like 2 in the morning, waiting until, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you do
So
find
it's
a gap in the security at 2 in the morning.
2 in the
Okay.
morning. Okay.
What, are we just gonna hang out till then?
We could bring it to the bar with us, set it up.
Sit up, order a drink. To Steve!
Yeah.
He was a right
Steve.
bastard. Like he owed a drink anyway.
Do you think we could get him in on like a street dice game for gambling, and like I
Look,
just always bet against him, and like
Look, we could set him up for karaoke night.
Oh man.
All right. Let's see. You got a 4. That was at night.
I do gotta say, how are these beetle camels big enough for everybody to ride on?
You see something while you're setting up this body up on this roof. There is a stack of rockets. They're simple chemical rockets that they're going to be strapped to this chair the following day, and then there's just a chair and then scorch marks around the chair. As you're setting up this body in the night, you see somebody on the wall. So actually it would be quiet. And you're up here. And you see somebody over here. And you see a sack get thrown over the wall. Large, damp sack. Sounds like it's full of metal bits and things. And then you see a stringy-haired old man with robotic lower legs that are like kangaroo leg joints. Climb himself up on the wall, land on his kangaroo robot legs, and then a man with stringy hair, an old man, takes that sack full of metal bits and disappears down the alley down this way.
Interesting. Can we see where they went from there, or they just kind of disappear?
No, yeah, you can see where they went. You see them make their way down alleys as you're getting this set up until eventually they disappear behind this wall here into this compound, into this building right here.
Okay. That's good to know. I think for now we should leave it. But we should definitely keep note of that. May come in handy later.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to stop our body setting up in rocket chair. Just go look at this.
You guys are strapping it in, but I'm very gingerly posing Steve. I put a cigarette in his mouth and I put his arms behind his head like this, so kick his feet up.
All right, so you guys set up Steve for the next day, and the guards, they take their place during the day shift to make sure nobody messes with Steve, and they can tell that somebody set him up. Every once in a while, you can tell somebody's like, why is old Huel being so quiet? And they're like, sometimes some people get quiet before their time comes. They stay in on guard during the day, and till the night comes, and then you see something else. I assume you're staying around for the
yeah.
the sky
I'm
burial.
not missing this.
So 7. You realize that you're all starting to smell yourself, and your buddy Huel starts to ask for another fix. You can tell he doesn't need it. and you could probably tell him to live with it for now. But you're covered in muck of this planet, probably haven't had a bath, and a couple of other travelers in vac suits coming down an alley look like they're headed toward the bar. They see you, they look at you, and they say, "Hey, you're Karthians? Would you be willing to be a guide for a couple of travelers on the planet?" They think you're locals because you're so smelly and
I was gonna say,
dirty.
this
We-
presents
we-
a unique opportunity to scam somebody.
Yes.
True.
Yes, we are
I don't
Karthians.
know.
Yeah, I'm a Karthian. I love that weed, that drugs, and
We're
drinking.
willing to navigate for you. You know, where do you need to
Must
go?
We're looking for guides that could take us out to the ranch. We're thinking about buying some of these beetle camels we've heard about. Because, well, we've heard about this reef. And we think we have a
The
buyer.
reef's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Oh,
that
it's,
reef.
it's not for us. It's not for us.
I know. You're
course
dealing
not, of
off
course
planet. No, I wouldn't do it myself. That stuff's poison. But I would sell it to people.
All right. You guys willing to guide a couple of travelers down the road to the ranch? You know this ranch is about 3 or 4 or 5 days southwest, right? That's where you went last time.
I'm gonna cut it here, and I'm gonna refer to our captain. I'm gonna say it's time for you to make the call on this one, because
Yeah.
Why,
as funny
why
as
not
this
do
could
two
be.
birds, one stone? We could. They don't know where it is. We could guide them along with Huel as our guide. Spot, supposedly. Take them out there. I don't know how bad this would be, but make sure they don't come back into town. Maybe they left collectibles on our way back in after checking out this mine. Wink, wink. You know.
So what would the other option be then?
I say ignore them, or give them an actual guide, give them a real referral, be like, sorry, like we're not gonna be farting your asses around.
Tell them about Grano.
Oh, that might be worse.
I go with the second idea.
Okay.
I tell him there's a former traveler around these parts by the name of Ebb who's makes a business out of going around that neck of the woods that they're looking at. So they should go asking around for where they can find him, or if I can provide those directions.
Yeah. Do you look for Ebb or Grano, or do you just tell them? Say, hey, you need to look around. There's a guy named Ebb. He's a former traveler.
I'd rather just tell him.
All right. Yeah. All right. You do that. They say, well, thank you, strangers. And they walk on. Okay. So, night eventually comes. And you can tell that the crowd is a paying crowd. They're MEF primarily. And the unwashed masses are behind. So you're given a place of honor where you can watch. The governor is not here. Also, you do see one man with a hefty guard of his own. Buzz cut, pure muscle, spite and hate, and a big old cigar. And Dr. Fayed is not here. The governor is not here. The guards you had, they are here, and they go up and they set up the rockets. It's nighttime. And after some time, unceremoniously, when these rockets go up, and you see it like arc up into the night sky, and then all of a sudden, and like the atmosphere lights up, and there's a brilliant beam of bright blue as a beam lasers that you've only seen. The Admiral has only seen this. You guys have only seen this in space battles that you've been in, which you've.
Oh.
As there's something in space that like intercepts this thing once it gets at a certain height above the ground. As soon as it gets there, just and then it just explodes.
Man,
Forgot about that
was
part.
Those are anti-ship lasers.
And they and
Beautiful.
everybody just cheers and raises a glass, and then they go on, have a good night. And this is kind of like a bit of a what do you call it, a morale event for the MEF troopers.
Yeah.
I want to gauge Huel's
Yeah.
reaction to all this.
Yule's probably happy as a clam right now.
He's sweating because he's starting to
gonna
go into
say.
withdrawal, and he's just like, oh, thank the law. Thank the law, the great judge, the sun in the sky. Thank the sun. Oh, thank the holy sun. Oh, and then
Yep, that could have been you, Yule.
I'm
Still
awfully
good.
grateful. Awfully grateful.
Still could, Huel. Still could.
No.
Really good.
No. Look, it's all gonna be all right. You just wait. I'm gonna show you this. We're all gonna get out of here rich. We're gonna get off this planet. He's licking his lips. And you go back to your flop house in the Desperado bar and get in your sleeping sack. The next morning,
Ugh.
you guys gonna head out to? We got
Yep.
about an hour left. Let's see here. Back to the Karth map.
This place probably has bed bugs.
Here's what I say: we
Probably.
make this quick. We get there. We find some horrible monster out in the desert cave. We end up probably having to sacrifice Huel to it for our lives. We come
Definitely
back,
have-
and then we all
definitely-
pay top dollar for a bath.
Definitely
Job well done.
sacrifice. Definitely sacrifice Yule.
Well, definitely sacrifice him. I mean, I
Don't worry,
get my
we'll-
bath and sleep quarters for free.
We get him nice and high though before we throw him out there. You know, so we're not monsters. We're not monsters.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
him going.
We get him all jacked up on that weed. Throw him at whatever God's name is out in that desert. And run.
A day passes as you start, and he guides you up this road. He points it out in the distance. He says that that's where the mine is. A day passes, and in the heat of the sun, actually about halfway through out here, you see something shimmering, and it looks like water. And he says, "Oh, that's an oasis. Oh, we could
Wait a minute.
camp near that. Get some fresh water."
Yeah, there could be some creatures there too, getting watered up as well. I don't trust
Yeah.
it.
Why don't we camp a little bit away from it?
All
Yeah.
right.
I was in
Yeah.
I was in the scout service. I know this kind of stuff.
All right. All right, you camp a little ways away from it. Then the sun,
Yep.
or the gas giant, right, raises the next day, and you travel a second day. Wow. Wow. Something happens.
Ooh,
Let's see.
I hate it when he says that.
Let's see here. Something like this.
space mimics.
It starts the ground, the dust itself starts kicking up, and you start having to shield your eyes, and it comes up on you all of a sudden. And he says, I told you, we should have went to the water. We could have. We're in a sandstorm." And yeah, it just all of a sudden it starts stinging, and it stings more, and then all of a sudden you know it's hurt. You know, you're shielding your eyes, but you reach up and touch your face where it's stinging you. You get blood on your face. You realize the sand is like ripping your flesh off.
Ooh.
Oh God.
If you do not find a place to take cover fast, you'll start taking damage.
Okay, yeah, let's do
Is it
that.
hurting the camel beetles at all?
No, not at all.
Can we
We,
take
like,
cover
we
under the
hide
camel
Hide,
beetles?
hide behind the camel beetles.
Ah, we're going to try to hide behind the camel beetles. All right.
Like under them, maybe.
So my
Might be
Yeah,
question:
like
covered.
under 'em.
who is on Bluey and who is on Jimbo?
I'm on Bluey.
Okay.
Bluey gang.
On
Jimbo.
Bluey gang. Bluey gang for the win.
Okay. So you start trying to get the beetles together, and immediately Bluey gets mad, and he rears up, and he's like, and then
Calm down,
starts.
Bluey.
Bluey starts trying to scrape at the people that are on Jimbo. Yeah.
I own you,
Oh my god,
Bluey.
no.
Jimbo starts spitting at everybody that's on Bluey.
Oh, calm down, babies.
I
Calm
have
down,
half
baby.
of mine to shoot this thing right now and use it like a
No.
tauntaun sleeping bag.
Tauntauns.
No, no. Hey, get
Right.
my-
You're losing
Okay.
control of your camel
These
beetles.
are my babies. These, you can't
Do we
shoot
have
'em.
any? Do we have anything that could act as like a tarp?
Actually, we might have
You-
to shoot them.
You tell me.
Unfortunately,
Does
all
anybody
I
have-
keep on me is a net.
Does anybody have Xeno bestiary? Xeno medicine?
I do not.
No.
No.
Did you
Okay.
have time to shop?
Not if.
During all of it?
Yeah, not
No,
unless you.
weird.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Do we know what direction the oasis was from where we are now?
Uh,
No.
you're buffeted. It was like 20 miles behind you because that was
Okay.
yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We gotta shoot one of them. We gotta shoot one of them.
You're
Or
gonna
we
put.
need another plan. Yeah.
Which one do you shoot if you're gonna put one of them down and use it as a tauntaun?
Oh god.
Jimbo, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go.
Well, if we
I love
shoot
you,
one
man.
of them, the other one still is probably gonna attack. 'cause we
Yeah,
shot it
Uh,
red.
maybe.
We'll see what happens. I'm ready to shoot the other one.
Wait. So
Just
before we
shoot
do
it.
that, nobody has anything we could use as a tarp? Like, do we have a tent we could
mean,
unravel and
uh,
like?
Do our vac suits protect us or no?
Ah, you have vac suits.
I'm wearing armor.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I have my back suit on.
This
Not a
is another
vac suit.
example where I'm gonna look at the skill. Let's see, vac suit. A basic throw of 10 plus to avoid a dangerous situation applies when any non-ordinary maneuver is attempted wearing a vac suit. Running, jumping, hiding, jumping untethered ship to another, or any such activity. But you allow a DM of +4 per level of expertise. So everyone has a vac suit, if that's what you're wearing and you're not wearing other armor. And if you have vac suit 1, you would roll 2d6 and add +4 to get a 10, which everybody has vac suit 1. If you have more than vac suit 1, you would
Vac suit
add,
too.
then you'd add a +8.
Okay.
Okay.
But that sounds like it. That doesn't
Nice.
sound like it's applicable here, though, right?
No, you
Ross,
can.
is there any-
This is an example where you can like get your helmet on and like try to use your vac suit and like. But I'm going to introduce a complication if you fail through your vac suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 15
Okay. This is
altogether.
my.
Nice.
What
Nice.
if we have vac suit 1? What is the bonus?
+4.
Okay.
Was that
Back
my
suit
roll?
two's
Yeah.
8, so I got
Oh.
15
Nope.
altogether.
That Nile fails.
I got 17.
5 + 4 to
I'm
get
not-
a 10. Yeah, I guess not.
Or
Yeah, you
5.
fail.
Or no, 5. Yeah, it's 9. Yep.
Yeah. So Nile fails.
I'm not gonna risk whatever this complication is. I'm shooting Jimbo, and I'm inviting anybody else who messes up their vac suit roll to join me down here.
All right.
I'm just gonna
Sorry,
hop under
Radamay.
there too.
Say what? What are you
Jimbo,
going to do, Trask?
no!
Say again, Trask.
I'm just gonna hop under the dead
Good.
tauntaun.
Okay. Well, in that case, since they're shooting it, so everybody that passed, you're good to go. And you get your vac suit on, you get covered up, and you hunker down. You can feel like stones like pelting your vac suit as you're holding on. You know. Who shoots Jimbo? Is it okay? It rears up.
Oh
And then,
God,
like a
no!
big fat giant
No.
cockroach that exposes its big belly, just waiting for you to
Oh.
slice it up. Get it.
Oh no!
Poor
Oh,
To be
Jimbo.
clear, Ross, I didn't even
Poor
try
Jimbo.
and fail a vac suit roll. I got on this immediately, no hesitation.
Do you have a
Like,
sword?
I do have a cutlass.
Okay.
I guess I don't have a knife, so this is gonna be messy.
You draw your cutlass out and hack open its belly and slide on in there, and just and then like
You
have
stuff
this
fuel inside
giant
there too?
thing like
Come
on
on
top
and snuggle,
of you.
Trask. There's plenty of room.
Yeah, Trask and Niall and Chapman are inside this, and they definitely
Yeah,
smell
cool.
worse on the inside.
You have to feng shui the organs a little bit.
Oh god.
It's still like moving in
Pull out a
there,
spleen
you know, like yeah,
and hand it
Still
to someone.
warm.
yeah, it's still,
Nice and warm.
yeah, and
Stop hiding all the
this
intestines.
is how you spend the night in this thing, and then probably you have to like just get some air out the sides of this thing, you know. When you get this thing off of you the next day, your companions look like monsters. They're just covered in slime and goop. I don't even know.
I had a good night's sleep. How about
I
you
think
boys?
I think this is just a we'll see what happens as you bake in this stuff the next day. But fortunately,
Fuel is with us as well.
during the night the sandstorm passes and it clears up. And all right, well, oh yeah, what's his name needs to get inside of the bug to the camel beetle, yeah, beetle
Fuel?
camel.
Yeah.
Fuel?
Yeah,
Fuel probably smells just the same.
yeah, you all smell
Yeah,
terrible.
He's like, this
I hate
is
this
so
planet.
bad. I've been in worse
This planet.
situations.
You say that on every planet.
This is the worst. No, this is a bad planet.
The words of a wise man I once knew, let's leave this planet and never come back.
Let's see here.
Oh, Jimbo, you will be missed.
Also, this is
So
convenient
just-
as like a way marker for us.
Yeah.
Jimbo's corpse.
Does Bluey start eating him, or?
So you can see, yes, clearly, yeah.
Okay, so
And the rest of the next day, Bluey is really sluggish, and yeah, sluggish would be a good way to put it. And the next day, you can see the mountains off in the distance with the mine. You think you'll make it there the next day. Just off the road from there is a thin trail of smoke, clearly a campfire.
we hail the camp. It's probably etiquette around here.
I mean, I think we should stay away from it. Is my opinion.
Yeah.
But whatever,
Fair.
we could vote on it.
Let's go by it. Let's try to bypass it.
Wait, what? When we ask Huel, does that look like they're nearby where you're taking us?
Yeah, it's a little bit off the road. It's about nearby where you're going. Yeah.
So they could be like at our destination, possibly.
How far out are we from our destination then?
The next day. It's gonna take one more day. Yeah.
And I asked Huel, whatever amount of Weegoy this is, how many people, like how much manpower do you think is going to be needed in order to recover this stash?
That might be a problem, but having that one beetle camel should help us out a lot. We'll be able to take quite a haul. Might be able to hire a whole guard if we find enough of it in there and come back with more.
I was going to say, I don't know how we feel about splitting the party, but having a detachment of some portion of us hang back a little bit to keep an eye on the horizon and be ready to warn those who are actually doing the extraction if anybody is on our tails. Because I don't want these guys to, like, if these people who are out here camping are going to be like vultures or anything and prey on us, like wait for us to emerge from that cave and then take our goods. That would not be fun.
No. Besides, we do the same thing to them if the situations were reversed, wouldn't we?
True.
Redman, you concern me.
What? What? We would. We totally would. We've probably done it before. Or you guys have done it before. mean, didn't you say you
I
stole?
don't want to like try to claim the moral high ground too often, but there are some lines I
mean-
have not yet crossed.
I mean, didn't you
Not
say you
yet.
stole that ship, that free trader? You stole that.
Well, hold up, that was different.
Yeah,
He was
he had it
dead. He had it coming.
We stole a body from a morgue. Strapped Steve.
He
Poor
did
Steve.
not. It was freely given.
Poor Steve.
You
who
guys
did nothing
shot
wrong.
Jimbo.
We shot a guy named Jim. You shot my camel beetle, which is a dick move. It was a very dick move. That was a dick move.
Yeah.
Okay, at least mentally, Radamant has now taken up the same position on the hierarchy as Huel has for me.
Like,
Sorry.
So-
I
Okay.
do like that idea though of having a group stay back just to kind of keep an eye out on things. That makes sense. Would it also make sense to have that group have the beetle so that like if they do notice
Yeah.
something they could run to the extraction group?
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
Yeah, that makes sense. They have the advantage
Yeah.
of speed.
Someone with a rifle
Um,
too. If anyone has like good with a rifle,
Yeah.
I got a rifle
gonna
and
say
a
if we can-
radio.
that's good.
I
I
also
was
have
going
a
to
rifle and a
prioritize
radio.
stealth. I don't know if anybody here is particularly stealthy in any capacity, but that would be the main
Not-
thing they
not
need to be able to
particularly.
do.
So I just want to understand, Books. Are you guys separating into two groups? One's going into the mine, one's staying outside the mine.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm staying out.
It's not long
I'm
after
going
that
into the mine.
happens that the campsite with the fire, it clears up and you can see three figures coming across the desert towards you all.
Okay.
Well, I
so-
guess we'll.
This is the group that's outside that doesn't go in the
Yeah.
mine.
I'll go in the mine.
Yeah, I'm going into mine.
Who wants to go with us?
I'm
Well,
going.
If they're
I wanna
coming this
do a
way, should we all
oversight.
be here in case something happens?
Yeah. Let's all be here now that they're coming.
Well, do we have a
towards us.
choice? Is it already too late? Are we already split or?
No, this is why I asked. So I was asking if you guys
Yeah.
split. So if
Yeah,
you
let's stick together. Let's stick
Let's split.
together.
no, you already said you split.
Yeah.
That's why I was
So-
clarifying.
Okay.
Okay, firstly, let's clarify who went into the mine and who stayed back to keep an eye out for things.
Radamant.
I
went to the
will.
mine.
I will be on watch. I will be on the outside of the mine, keeping
Okay.
a lookout for these guys.
Okay.
I'll go into the mine.
Okay.
I'll stay
Yeah,
outside
Brandon-
then.
Okay.
I'll stay outside. I might be able to talk him down.
And Trask, what were you gonna say?
I'll,
You were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say, if we split up, I want to be on the observer team with my forward observer.
Ah,
abilities.
okay. Yeah, right
oh,
on.
Yeah. Forward observer.
Yeah.
And I'll use my medium range communicator that I have to let Books know that, hey, those guys who are camping are coming towards us at the very least, so he's not
Okay.
caught off guard.
You're just in the entrance to the mine, so given that you have communicators, you could just come back out if you wanted.
I'd
Yeah.
let the others know. Hey, our shipmates are getting visitors. What do you
Should
guys
we go
want to
back?
do?
Should we go back?
I say, you know what? Let's watch. Let's go back and keep
Okay.
enough away that we can keep an eye on them, so that if they need help, we're close enough that we can react.
Huel, I assume that you force Huel to go in the mine, right? Because like that's the whole
Oh,
point.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
so
definitely.
so Huel, he's kind of freaking out. He's like, "Oh, there's people. They patrol this desert. This place ain't safe. It's dangerous. We should watch.
Yeah.
You're right. We should watch and be ready to help. Yes, I agree." Anyways, meanwhile, three figures approach the people that are on the outside. Two of them are obviously armed and armored. One has a 19th century petticoat suit, but it's a woman with like a top hat, and she strolls up to you, and she's like, "Hello, travelers. Why, you're lucky that you encountered Frigga." She bows. The two guards say nothing.
Who wants to speak for our group? I got admin. Or plus.
I'll take a bow, and I try to mirror her level of ceremony here.
Okay.
In trading salutations.
She says, why, I can tell you exactly what you need to do to survive out here, as not anyone like Madame Frigga that can help out a traveler that comes here on Karth. You're very lucky you found me. So how many laws have you broken so far? Do you even know? You don't know. And then she pulls out like a suitcase with all kinds of like papers and brochures and stuff. And she's like, and that's why you need a traveling attorney, Frigga. And I can get you out of all the trouble that you're in back in Larstown. Now, I've already asked around, and I already know the trouble you're in. It's already starting to build up. Don't worry about it at all. First thing, you didn't do it. That's the first thing. But then you just follow my advice. We'll get you right out of this, no problem. Only for a nominal fee.
What
trouble
kind of
are-
fee are we talking?
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of fee? We should negotiate the retainer fee, of course. Why don't we start with the proposed charges that I've already heard? And she's gathered information. She's like, let's see. Theft of a body. Murder. Ooh. Violation of our conservation laws.
She's good. I did kill that animal.
Ooh, helping someone cross the security barrier. That's quite serious, actually. That's worse than the murder. And then she's going on, and she's naming off stuff. And they're all wrong. Like, they're all, like, twisted, like the things, the proposed charges. And she's like, but don't worry. If I calculate it here, let's see. I think that I can get you off this planet with no problems at all for 2,000 credits.
Solomon's gonna look to the other two. Well, looks like you guys have been busy. How about 1,000 credits, and you'll have a favor with a very powerful ally.
She looks at you.
I think
You do
I
look
think
familiar.
Sorry, I do think that we might need to seek counsel with our own previously retained attorney.
I was gonna say I have a lawyer.
That's real unfortunate. Those others in town, they're crackpots. Wouldn't trust them. But I'm sure that you can handle it just fine. She closes up her briefcase and she's like, come on, boys, let's head out.
Ross, I want you to know in my notes, I had written
contact
Frigga sand pirate ? And had to cross it out to write sand lawyer ? So, that's a new one.
Sorry.
Solomon wants to try and get her contact if he has any.
Oh yeah, she has a business card.
Oh yes.
Is this real paper?
So, oh man.
No, definitely
Real
not.
paper?
No,
Oh,
heck no.
dang. Okay.
Definitely not made of real wood. Okay, let's get in the mine before we run out of time.
Back to the mine.
I will quickly radio books to be like false alarm.
Okay, I would let the others know. All right, guys, let's get back to work. False alarm.
And yeah, we'll appraise Solomon of like, you know, she almost was right on a couple of them, but we're pretty clean so far.
Also, we know there is no such thing as due process in that community anyway, so I'm not even
Yeah.
fully confident that she actually
That-
is
that was a
working
shakedown.
lawyer. Oh yeah.
So it looks just like this on the outside, but so Glenn, I know you can't see it, so I'm going to describe it here. Set inside of a bulging bunch of stones is a cavernous cut into the mountain, into the hillside, forming a mine. There's a bunch of old machinery and stuff, the guts of things no longer useful, no longer used. An old rusted rail that goes off into the mine with a cart still there at the entrance. A seahorse mine sign, cables hanging out up above. There's one of those bird things, one of those bat birds that's roosting up at the top. No trespassing in both Anglic and some other language you don't know. And from the entrance, you can hear rusty chains rattling from the ceiling inside, being wafted by the desert winds. A faint echo, like holding a shell to an ear, is audible from the mine entrance. And you can see just inside that there's a collapsed ceiling. You peer inside and you can see metal supports across a wide entrance. The cave looks about half abandoned, half empty. There is a big cave-in behind an empty acetylene welding tank. And in the cave-in, you can still see skeletal arms sticking out from beneath the sandstone boulders that have fallen. And then this big tank of pure hydrogen that's just sitting there. It's just been sitting there for a long time.
Wonderful. We're gonna die in this mine.
So it's a tank of hydrogen.
Yeah, there's a big cave in here. It's blocking any further entrance. And it's just behind a big old rusted tank of pure hydrogen that's loose.
Could we turn it off, or could we make sure like nothing's coming out of it, and make sure it's safe?
You check and make sure it's safe. It's not! And it's leaking. This is volatile. It's pure liquid hydrogen. This thing could explode easily.
There's no switches or anything that we could see?
It's just a big old tank.
Just a tank.
Let's just step back and shoot it.
It'll
Wait.
blow up the entire.
Happens gonna miss
Yeah,
an
is there
explosion.
any... Besides, so this whole cave-in is blocking the rest of our access into the mine, right?
It appears to.
Okay.
We
I
send,
wanna-
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, can Solomon go look around maybe, see if there's any other way before we blast this explosive barrel and blow up potentially this entire mine?
That will take
Well, should
time.
we send,
Oh, go ahead.
should we send what? I'm sorry, should we send our, helper instead?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
Huel?
send Huel.
Huel, I forgot his name.
let's-
Yeah,
yeah.
send Huel.
Give him some drugs before we do, though.
Yeah, I actually still have those drugs that I bought, that I had him buy.
I mean, first let's just hear if he has any bright ideas about this, since he was supposed to be the expert on the situation when we arrived.
Yeah, Huel. Spill.
And I'll use the, if he doesn't start, like if he doesn't say anything, I'll use the drugs as motivation.
Right.
Would you do it for a Scooby snack?
Would you do it for a? Would you
Yeah,
do it
you-
for a bag of drugs?
In fact, he immediately at first he's like, "No, please, I don't think I'd be good to check that." And he's scratching his face, and then you wave the chalk in front of him, and he's like, "All right." He goes forward, checks, and he's like, "Oh, hey everybody, there's a crack here. I can see that it." And something pulls him in, and like
Oh,
he's
no.
pulled into the dark.
Oh.
But you found a way in.
Huel. Oh.
Did
Darn.
anybody bring flashlight?
You definitely will need a flashlight to see. That is on the item list, I think.
Yeah, I have a flashlight. I don't know.
I
don't
wanna.
know.
Could Solomon borrow the flashlight and he'll take a look with his shotgun here where Huel got grabbed?
Yeah,
Just a
here you
look.
go.
I don't want to go all the
I had-
way in. Just a look.
I hand you my glow rod.
And I'm gonna get on the walkie and talk to Chapman and explain the situation. We may want them. I don't know if at this point we may need backup here. There's some kind of like
Yeah.
cave monster. It might be good to have
Ross,
more.
do we see signs of any life out on the horizon from wherever it is that we have our vantage point?
No.
And I think it's good to reunite the party at this point. We're probably going to be good for the foreseeable few hours. So yeah, let's get all hands on deck with this.
Okay. All right, you got a flashlight. Everybody's together. You go in. Is there any other precaution? Okay. Let's see. So you're able to make it past in that dark shimmy space. You can see that there is a corridor here. Part of this same side passage cut into the rock, and then that allows you to kind of go ahead, and you can see where this mining cart and an intersection goes ahead into the mining space.
Ross, if there's a pure hydrogen leaking in this vicinity, would that be ignited just by any regular gunfire that we might do?
Yes.
Oh,
It's extremely volatile. But
Well,
only
that's sorry.
locally, right? Like, this is a pretty good distance here, so if you start shooting back here, this is 30 meters away, so you would have to hit the tank in order for it to explode, obviously.
Yeah.
And this tank, it's probably quite heavy, right? Like, this is big. Is
Yeah.
it built into the infrastructure at all, or is this something that could perceivably be rolled around or picked up somehow?
You could roll it if you actually have a beetle camel, so you could actually bring it in and ram it or push it. You could hypothetically
Load
move
it up on a
it.
mine cart?
Yeah, let's do that.
You could do that. It'll take time. But what's the intention? What's the ultimate goal?
I'm thinking, hypothetically, this thing could be weaponized, especially if there's a big monster in there somewhere. We just load it up on a minecart, send it down the tracks, shoot it from a distance.
If
Fair.
that's gonna take time, that's gonna take away any chance that or that might
We'd
take
have to
away any
save
chance
fuel.
that exactly.
Look, the more time we waste, the less
We-
chance we have.
I say,
Fuel
we got
survival.
numbers right now. We split up. Somebody go ahead and load that up on a minecart while another portion of us go ahead and look for fuel.
Oh
Alright.
yes, because this never worked poorly in pitch black. So, yes.
All right. So you don't waste any time. So the people that are going to look for Huel, do you look down the side passage or do you move ahead?
I want to move ahead. If I have a glow
move
stick
ahead, yeah.
shotgun ready, let's move ahead.
Yeah, let's move ahead.
You move ahead and you see here a central chamber. There are chains still swaying here, gently clanking from the stone ceiling. There's scales that you can see here for measuring some extracted product. It shows wildly inaccurate measurements. They look like they're broken. There are piles of human husks with puncture marks in their overalls. When I say
Oh, wow.
husks, I mean like bags of skin but no bones.
Oh god, it's worse. It's like spider things. Okay.
And there's a
Ugh.
passage here, and there's a passage this ways, and then it goes on ahead.
I have one question. Would navigate help with potentially tracking like any footprint?
That's for space.
That's what I thought. Want to double. Okay. Well, is there any like drag marks or footprints that we can see?
The sounds of screaming.
How's a poor Huel? Yeah.
Dying.
Yeah. You hear screaming this way.
Well, let's go after it. I mean,
Is that the plan?
Solomon's charging.
Oh yeah.
Yep. What's going on?
You go this way. Party split up. Now, Meanwhile, back here, you get this onto a cart. And as you're doing that, you see the party depart into the darkness back this way, and you hear flashlights and echoing screams. And you see something at the edge of your light, a group of eyes, just momentarily, and then they vanish back into the darkness. You now have that hydrogen barrel thing on a minecart that can be used.
Okay. I'm gonna push it up towards the center of this. I'm gonna try to like push it so that it goes along on its own. I don't want to have to be like carrying it the whole way myself.
Okay.
And I'm gonna radio the other team just to let them know the bomb is now at the center of the junction. So don't fire your gun when you get there.
All right, you do that. Meanwhile, over here, the other group, you see what is obviously a very unstable column holding up the. It's got discarded mining drills around it. This column holding up the ceiling is not in great shape. And you also see that there is a air vent cover here. It looks like it was violently ripped off, with the metal pieces bent back, and then the grate is just on the ground bent, as if it were ripped off.
Is the screams coming from the vent?
You don't hear any screams.
Oh no, Huel's gone, guys. Sorry. Or he's knocked out.
Yeah, I mean, spiders normally save their prey, right? To eat.
Yeah,
If it's a spider.
it's some kind of alien spider. Okay, something spider-like if it drains the juice
Yes.
out of the husk. So we have a chance. We're on a rescue mission. What do you want to do? This is your guys' call. Like, I want to try and save.
I'm down to save him.
Yeah, let's save them.
Yeah.
Let's go into the vent.
So you guys go in the vent.
Yep.
Gosh.
All right, everybody climbs up, and you start crawling single file. Dunk, dunk, dunk. You can hear the hollow sounds of the metal in this claustrophobic vent. Only two of you can be abreast. You start crawling, and then you hear Huel's voice, and he says, "Hey guys, hey guys," and it echoes.
Huel.
Hey guys,
No.
I don't feel so good.
Oh,
Oh. He's better off with the sky chair.
wow.
He's getting the ground chair.
We're coming, Huel. We gotta save him.
He says,
Ross is losing it. The emotional intensity of the moment is too much for him.
it's just so stupid.
We gotta save him. These are meal
Huel,
ticket, okay?
Huel says, "Guys, I don't think you should come here. In fact, I think I like it here. I think I'll stay here. Hey,
No,
why
Huel,
don't
that's drugs.
maybe you all should just head on out?" And it
He found
echoes.
He found it. He found the drugs.
Yeah. I guess we keep going.
Let's find him. We gotta save Huel.
You get to
is
this
the
intersection.
right Huel.
You can still hear his voice echoing this way. I assume everybody's together now, because what good is... Or you can stay... People can stay near the bomb, I guess, if you want. But you hear his voice this way, and he says, "No, seriously. I think maybe you should leave this place."
Oh. This isn't Huel, guys.
That was a little sinister. Yeah.
Someone who's had brain worm
why
before.
should we leave,
yeah.
Huel?
You keep trying to clatter along the vent toward this voice that's telling you to go away.
Slowly.
Yes.
Can we... Like, why should we leave, Huel?
I think
Either way.
I don't think there's anything worth keeping here. I think maybe I'll just live here now.
Thought you wanted to go off planet.
Let's see here. I gotta roll again.
Oh, heal.
In either way, our treasure hall's here, so.
That's cruel, but I had to finagle our way to get this guy. He's my responsibility now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we leave now, then we're just completely in the hole.
It's-
for every
Ross, just to be
investment.
clear, I'm
Yeah.
hanging back just to see if any creatures, eyeballs, whatever, pass through the junction in the direction that these guys all went, so I can warn them that something is coming up from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the last thing I want to sneak up behind them.
Yeah, you do that. You don't see anything, and you hear Huel's voice behind this door. And
Oh god.
the door has like dark black stains along its edge, both in the top left and right, and down at the bottom, as if something has seeped out in the past. And it seems like an old maintenance door. And Huel says, I think I'd like to stay here now. I think you all should leave.
Oh,
If
God.
we listen it in, do we hear anything else, or is that all? Yeah, like if we listen in at the door.
If you listen in at the door, you hear a chittering noise, like, and then sliding noises.
Oh god.
I mean, I feel like we should. Okay, we could vote on it. Either we go back, or if we do decide to go in, we all have our weapons out and like we're ready to run.
Yeah.
You know, back to like where the bomb is and blow them up.
What
kinda
kind
far.
of ranged weapons you guys got? I got a shotgun, so I can blast.
As a-
Rifle.
I also
Got a
also
rifle.
have a shotgun.
Okay.
I have a handgun, pistol.
I didn't bring my handgun just because I was already carrying so much stuff, so I just got my rifle.
What if we all stand there? One guy opens the door and everybody else just shoots.
Yeah, we just breach
You
it.
can't miss.
Guns blazing in there, everybody riddles Huel with bullets.
Are we out of the range of the hydrogen?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to
Oh,
make
that. Yeah, that's a good question to ask.
sure. Yeah, I say we do that. I say somebody opens the door and then gets out of the way, and we just have our guns ready.
Man, this sucks. I'm gonna have to hire a whole new crew. I'm gonna have to start making all those mortgage payments all on my own.
All your own.
You open the door and start just firing. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here are the things that happen. Let me start the gun noises.
Absolutely insane strategy.
You just like start firing, so everybody can subtract like a full magazine. Okay, so like whatever
Okay.
that is, or like 5 shotgun rounds or 10 or whatever, you know. And you just pop, 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 pop. And the thing that you open the door and you do see, you see Huel, but his eyes are missing from his sockets and his mouth is open. And you shoot him, and he just like sort of blows up like a balloon, and parts of him just like in his flesh just flies around the room. And you just fill the whole place with carbon, and carbon smoke just fills everything up until finally, the room is just full of holes. I'll describe what you see in here. You see worn and still fans in a boxy chamber, obviously that have been ripped full of bullet holes now and shotgun blasts. Jammed with hardened resin, though. They have not moved in a long time. It's filled with rocky detritus in a flat, boneless, almost like deflated balloon that was once Huel. Covers portions of the room, bits of him. Just the flesh. And then you hear a and then something comes from the ceiling, and I'm going to roll a d6. Got a 6. That is Radamant, Roll under your dexterity, please. As
Okay.
something screeches and descends from the ceiling.
2d6.
Yeah, to get under your dexterity.
That's
Okay.
a looker.
Okay, roll another one. That was a 5. My dexterity is 8.
Okay, one of these things. Oh, so you rolled under it, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
A tentacle that has like 3 claws and a whole like sucker in the middle like launches out at you, and you dodge and it slams into a wall near you and you duck, and then there's just like tentacles all around you, and then some kind of like brain thing that like is contracting and expanding with a hole in the center of it, and a voice comes warbled from the hole, and it's Huel's voice, and it's like, "Please, just leave me alone." And it's like warbling from the hole in the face. And let's see here. I need to put this here. And I think there's a chance you all might be surprised, and it might be surprised. So let's roll a d6, crew captain.
Oh boy.
So you want to not roll a 1, you rolled a 1.
Oh no.
He gets a surprise round, and but you are the aggressor, so it's going to get a chance to attack. And I'm going to pick randomly. It's just like scared and freaking out. Oh no, Radamant again.
Oh no. Okay.
Let's see here. It is going to... A needle flies out of a hole in its body, and
Okay.
it hits automatically. Got 3 damage, but you roll under your endurance.
Endurance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't die.
Oh no. Oh yeah. No.
So it does.
I did not.
It does 3 damage to your endurance, and then
Okay.
this thing goes into your neck, and you just see him like fall over, like he goes paralyzed. He's passed out, so he cannot act. That was its. Let's see, it can do that. And all right, it's your all's turn. That was its, and you are the aggressor, so you can act next. Bring up the combat section.
And we're at close range or short range?
Close range.
Okay.
Yeah, let's kill it.
So everybody just starts like shooting again.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Question: is anybody using an automatic weapon of some kind?
No.
No.
I was thinking about
Gotcha.
using the sword, but I
Gotcha.
might just take the rifle.
So it's
I'm not
it's
sure if I
2d6 to
rifle-
get an 8. If you have any modifiers, you can of course apply it. Dice modifiers.
Okay.
Let me know.
Say that again.
2d6 to get 8. You can apply any dice modifiers that would apply.
So
Okay.
you said so for example, rifle 4. That
You'd add +4. I was wrong.
It's +4.
Yeah, and in addition to that, if you fall in that dexterity range, if you've got like a 9 or a 10 to dex, I think it is.
7. Yeah.
Okay, no, then it's just +4, yeah.
You have to have like really high dex, yeah.
But then to further complicate it, is it a rifle?
Yes.
A rifle at short range, you get +1 on top of it, actually. It varies by weapon.
So wait, +1,
So it's +5 to hit.
+5. Okay.
It's not in cover. Alright, and did anybody miss at short range with your weapons and your bonuses?
No.
I missed.
If we could go around, I'll ask for the damage that you cause,
I
and
think
then if you miss...
some wrong size dice
Oh,
were
wait.
just rolled.
2D8.
Did
Chapman, what damage did you do?
I am not present.
Ah, that's right. Okay, Trask, what damage did you do?
So I rolled a 14, and that means if all my modifiers. 3d6.
I'll come back to you. Niall, what damage did you do?
Sorry, it's 8 to hit, correct? I'm sorry.
It's 8, and then you would apply any modifiers, which for you right now is +5. I'll get back to you. Glenn, what did you...
I hit, yeah.
Yeah, Glenn, what damage did you do?
I rolled 4 dice, right? Shotgun.
Did you hit it?
Apply all those numbers. Yes, I did.
I think a shotgun is 3 dice, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Yes, we'll
I'll
just
tell
go
you
with...
right now.
You should use that broadsword.
Nine.
But 9 damage, okay. And then...
4 dice, actually.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Looks, what'd you do?
Well, if it's 4 dice, actually, I'm sorry, then I did hit.
No, I meant damage.
Oh, damage dice?
Yeah.
Radamant,
attack
did you...
dice is always-
Radamant, what damage did you do?
I passed out from that venom, aren't I?
That's right, you're passed out. Okay, back
Yeah,
to
I'm passed
Chapman.
out.
Chapman,
Get
did
the
you
venom.
do any damage?
Now present.
No, oh, that's sorry. Trask?
Okay.
Oh yeah, 10.
10 damage, okay. And then Niall.
12.
Okay, 12 damage. All right, did anybody else hit? Nope. Okay, back to its turn. It's going to start trying to get somebody else knocked out. Let's see, it's going to try to target Niall. Niall, roll under your endurance. Wait, no, it has to hit you first. Let me see if it hits you. All right, it's 9. It does hit. Roll under your endurance, please, and you take 3 points to your endurance.
I rolled 11, and my endurance is not an 11.
All right, you take 3 damage, and Niall passes out. And let's see, back around the table. If you're shooting it, keep shooting it. And I'm gonna go around. And just tell me the damage, please. If you, if you hit. If you don't hit, just say, "Hey, I missed." But we'll start with Chapman again. What did you get? I'm sorry, you're gone.
There.
I'm sorry. I know. Yeah, my
it's okay.
brain is
On
Trask.
bomb duty.
13.
I'm having the time of my life out there. I got my MP3 player going.
Trask, you got 13 damage.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. What about? Let's see. Niall's passed out. I will end up saying Niall though. Let's see. Books.
I missed.
Okay, and Solomon.
Hit and 20 point.
20 damage. Describe how you kill this thing, Solomon.
Yes.
Oh man, just getting as close as he can, just peppering it with his shotgun pellets and trying
Okay.
to save everybody he can.
Everyone, please subtract your ammo that was used. So it rears up as you like blast this thing in the head, and it alien black bile just spews out from its head as you crack it open with your shotgun. And finally, Huel's voice stops emitting from it. Let me see here. And it occupies like half the room, this giant alien thing. What do y'all want to do with it?
Well, I'm out of shock shells. Let's pour one out for Huel.
Could we search the room thoroughly now that this thing's dead? See if there's anything of worth.
And
Also,
how
its
are
body.
Niall and Radamant doing?
Yeah, I'm still knocked out.
Yeah, they are unconscious. Obviously, Huel is very dead. I mean, it's obvious to you that this is one of the alien creatures that is like supposedly only its bones remain. This is a actual Weegoy sample. Like, this is like an actual Weegoy.
That's a treasure
I say,
trove.
yeah, you bring a whole lot of that back for the doctor, the
Yeah.
android.
I think-
We'll skip ahead here. We're running out of time soon, so because that is the only thing of really serious concern in here. So you search and looking here.
I would like to take a sample of the alien creature too, just for the
Sure.
doc.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can take the whole alien if you want. Put it on
Yeah.
put it on your
Take it on the camel beetle.
camel beetle camel. The only other thing is there are 4 translucently blue-skinned humanoids that you find in here. They were trapped behind some rocks, and they offer you payment if you will take them back to their people. And that is something that we will resolve another time. For now, you managed to survive. Everybody did. You put your unconscious friends on the backs of the camel beetle, and you make it back to the Desperado karaoke bar again. And try to hide the fact that you've got a priceless alien artifact. Maybe you leave it outside or dig a hole or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out later.
We'll send someone ahead into town to buy a tarp, which we should have had already.
You keep needing
Come back
tarps.
out in the
You
desert.
keep needing tarps.
Yeah.
It seems like the most
Thanks, you know,
valuable.
you wouldn't think.
Yeah, and that ends the adventure for the night.